Right now on Connecticut's news station, if you're thinking about hitting the water at a state park over the holiday, your options may be limited. The swimming areas at some parks are closed because they're full of bacteria. We'll tell you which ones are affected.
And a man accused of stabbing a stabbing spree in Massachusetts, also suspected in killing a man in Connecticut, and why it could be some time before police can act on their arrest warrant.
Also, a pastor with a criminal past breaks his silence now that he's been accused of impersonating a police officer. He spoke exclusively with our station about what happened. News at 6 starts right now.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock. Good morning. Thanks so much for starting your day off with us at Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus America areas.
I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. We're starting with the forecast. Meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli joins us now after another pretty good day. We're in a good stretch here, aren't we?
Yeah, today another nice one. So it's a comfortable day today, but it's feeling tropical starting tomorrow. So really take in the nice and comfortable conditions out there now because it won't last. Over in Hartford right now, temperatures are around 62 degrees, dew points in the mid 50s, so slightly elevated from this time yesterday, but still overall a nice feel to the air. It's 58 in Torrington now, 64 Bridgeport, 57 degrees out the door in Willimantic, and 58 in Norwich. Good morning to you. So noticing that humidity remains low throughout the day today. Overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning will increase that, so you'll start to feel a little bit more humidity out the door tomorrow morning. Then by the time we get to the afternoon tomorrow, it's going to feel a little bit more tropical. We have a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day today. High temperatures back into the lower to middle 80s. It's another comfortable and beautiful start for the day tomorrow for our 4th of July. We are looking at temperatures that'll be around 86 degrees to up around 90. In addition to that, we'll have a few more clouds around and there could be a stray shower or sprinkle. We'll detail out where we go from here, walk you through that hour by hour coming up in just a bit. On the roadways this morning, there's not much to get to out on the roads. We do have some areas of road work, but overall looking okay. One spot that is seeing some delays is going to be on 91 on that northbound side out by 17 and 21 because of road work that is wrapping up. The right and center lanes are closed at this time. I'll let you know when that clears. Over in Hartford, as you're heading into downtown this morning, that looks overall pretty smooth. And your drive times here, New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel is a 5-minute drive. Tim and Erica, back to you.
Rachel, thanks so much. The 4th of July holiday just about here, and people all across our state are going to be heading out on the water or hitting a local beach.
Now, keep in mind, already there are some precautions in place just to make sure everybody stays safe. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is live off the Connecticut River in Rocky Hill with the details. Good morning to you, Lindsay. Looks beautiful where you are.
Hi, good morning. It's certainly beautiful. People are already hitting the water early this morning, and we know that the water is definitely going to be busy over these next few days with boaters and kayakers. Now, state officials are reminding people about the dangers of drinking while on the waters operating a boat, and there will be more law enforcement out on the waters just in order to make sure that people are complying with those rules and staying safe. Operation Dry Water is a campaign used to show the importance of not being under the influence when operating a boat. Now, state officials say there are boating crashes every year that could have been avoided if drugs or alcohol were not a factor. There will be more officers out on the waters looking for impaired drivers as well as at boating recreation points. Officials are expecting the next few days to be some of the busiest in the summer on our ponds, rivers, lakes, and of course on the Long Island Sound. State officials have also placed a ban on alcohol at Naugatuck State Forest. Now, that ban will be in effect until the end of September. The goal is to increase safety and prevent misconduct, which officials say has been an issue in recent summers. 7 other locations have alcohol bans as well that were previously in effect. As for those looking to spend the holiday in the waters, there are some closures due to new water samples. Now, Day Pond State Park in Colchester, Wadsworth Falls State Park in Middlefield, and Wharton Brook State Park in Wallingford are all closed due to high levels of indicator bacteria. Now, it's still unclear exactly when those swimming areas are set to reopen, of course, pending new test results. But DEEP has all of those listings posted on their website where you can find that information on which parks are open and, of course, which ones are closed over the next few days as well. Live in Rocky Hill, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Lindsay, thank you. We've got a Fox 61 follow-up for you right now. Governor Ned Lamont is pleading with the public to use better judgment on the roads, especially when police or construction workers are present. Within the last 5 weeks, 3 people have died while working on Connecticut's roads. One of them, 26-year-old Andrew DiDomenico, was hit and killed by a driver in Wallingford last week. Police said that driver was drunk at the time. Lamont said one part of the solution is to add hundreds of flashing wrong-way signs in problem areas and to put speed cameras near construction sites. But he said that's only 10% of the solution.
The other 90% is up to you. You know, I need folks to look out for each other. I need you to say to somebody who's driving a car that shouldn't be driving a car, pull over. I need you to say if somebody's busy texting and not paying attention, stop it.
Now, according to the State Department of Transportation, more than 165 people have died on our state's roadways this year alone. And one of them, as we've reported, was State Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier. And the man accused of killing him in a hit and run back in May was supposed to be in court yesterday, but instead, Alex Oyola Sanchez's attorney appeared on his behalf for a brief hearing. Authorities said Oyola Sanchez was on drugs when he hit Trooper Pelletier while Pelletier was in the middle of a traffic stop right on the side of I-84 in Southington. Oyola Sanchez pleaded not guilty. He's still in custody and he's due back in court in August.
And we have an update on the suspect in the death of a man in Deep River back in May. State police tell us that they have an arrest warrant for 26-year-old Jared Raisa, but it's unclear when they're going to be able to serve it. Right now, Raisa is in custody in Massachusetts, where he's accused of stabbing 6 people in 2 different towns. A judge just ordered Raisa to undergo more mental health evaluations this week. Investigators believe Raisa killed 70-year-old Bruce Feldman and 2 dogs at a rental property in Deep River on May 25th. They say he then drove to Braintree, Massachusetts later in the day and allegedly stabbed 4 girls at a movie theater. Police say he then went to a McDonald's in Plymouth and stabbed 2 people there. Raisa has pleaded not guilty to the charges in Massachusetts. State police here in Connecticut tell us that they cannot get Raisa extradited back to our state because he's already in custody in another state. And Norwich police are looking for your help trying to identify this man here. He's wanted in an armed bank robbery. They released these surveillance photos after the man robbed the Centerville Bank on High Street at gunpoint. Again, this is in Norwich. They tell us the man got away with some cash. If you think you know who this is or you know anything about the robbery, call Norwich Police.
I got a Fox 61 follow-up this morning. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong said his office is investigating Capulet Entertainment after a metal music festival ended abruptly with few answers. The 3rd annual festival was supposed to take place last weekend at Thompson Speedway, but the day of the event, it changed venues, moving nearly an hour away to the Webster Theater in Hartford. And then on top of that, the final day of the festival didn't happen at all. Staff at the Webster shut it down, saying Capulet couldn't pay them. Well, Tong said his office has gotten more than 60 complaints over this.
It was very hectic and unorganized, not fair to us or the bands or the vendors. The vendors got screwed.
You have an obligation not to deceive people, right? Not to lie to them and not to engage in what we call unfair practices, right? Which is to rip them off. And that's what it feels like right now.
We reached out to Capulet's owner for some comment to try to figure out what actually happened. We are still waiting to hear back. Tong said his office was in touch with Capulet's legal team. Now, if you were impacted by this the sudden move, and then the even more sudden cancellation of Capulet Fest, you can file a complaint with the Attorney General. We've got a link for how to do that on our website, fox61.com.